The ethical dilemma I have chosen to discuss this week is an issue that I faced while coaching high school tennis in South Carolina. When I got out of undergrad from Kenyon College, I started working for the Low Country Preparatory School located in Pawleys Island, South Carolina. I was employed there for 3 years, from 2014 to 2017. And I also served as the head varsity boys basketball coach during that time. However, in the spring of 2017, during my last year at the school, I was approached by the athletic director to see if I would want to play tennis. Now, I have no experience playing or coaching tennis, but the majority of the tennis team were my basketball players, and because I enjoyed being around them so much and they were such good students and athletes, I decided that I would be the tennis coach. Here's the team. You can see me pictured on the left, and moving across we have John Kong, Joseph Olatunji, who is our number one singles player. We have Emery McClary, Bryce Landstreet, Wilson Grayson, Blake Erico, and Brandon Mercado. Now, Brandon, it should be mentioned, was a 6th grader at the time playing on the high school team because he was the number one ranked middle school tennis player in the state of South Carolina. It certainly helped having him. And standing next to Brandon is our athletic director, Ian Riddle. So here's the story. We qualified for the state tennis meet, and we were going to be playing Beaufort Academy. Now, Beaufort Academy is a school who we had lost to the past 2 years in the state tennis finals, and Beaufort was also in a larger athletic classification than my school was. My school was a Class A team, whereas Beaufort Academy was a Class 2A team. Now, it should be noted here that we did have issues with Beaufort Academy in the past, specifically with their coach and his ethical decisions in how he chose to run his team. The South Carolina Independent Schools Association, or SCISA, was the athletic governing body to which Low Country Prep, my school, and Beaufort Academy, the team we were playing, were affiliated with. Now, the issue that I'm going to be discussing had to deal with the doubles lineup in the state tennis match. As you can see, I have attached the ruling from the SCISA Tennis Handbook on lineup requirements. Here is the key thing to note. It says that the first doubles team should have a combined rank based on their singles rank, which will be lower than that of the second team. The second doubles shall have the same in regards to the third doubles team. If this is not the case, then dated challenge match results shall be available for review. If the combined rank is the same as the next doubles team, then challenge match data must justify the playing order. Basically, what this is saying is, if you look at your top 4 singles players, you can pair 1 and 3 to play your 1 doubles because that sums to 4, and you can play your 2 and 4 in your 2 doubles because that sums to 6. And as it says, the first team should have a rank lower than the second, so 4 being less than 6. The issue that I faced in the state meet was that the Beaufort Academy tennis coach tried to play his 1 and 4 singles players in 1 doubles and his 2 and 3 singles players in 2 doubles. Both of those teams would have a rank of 5. That is where the issue began. So here's what happened. We get to the doubles portion of the meet, and it turns out that in order to win the state match, we needed to win both doubles, whereas Beaufort just needed to win one of the doubles. The Beaufort Academy coach chose to place his 1 and 4 singles players into 1 doubles against my 1 and 3 players, because he knew he was going to lose the one doubles match. My top singles player was going Division I in tennis, and he could have won that doubles match on his own. So the Beaufort Academy coach, deciding to manage his team immorally, tried to sneak his 2 and 3 singles players into the 2 doubles, going against the SCISA rules. The reason he thought he could win the 2 doubles match was because my 6th grader was in 2 doubles. He thought that his 2 seniors could beat a 6th grader and a senior. I, however, caught this and brought it to the attention of the head of the SCISA Athletic Association, who was at the meet. I made it clear what was in the rule book, mentioning that we had had issues with these players in the past. I had a sense of moral obligation to stand up for my players here. Yes, at the time, it could have come across as the small David school going up against the giant Goliath school, wanting to be nitpicky at the rules, but I owed more to my team. I was not able to bring tennis knowledge or skill to the table, and so I knew in this instance I had to put my foot down. I knew that the Beaufort Academy coach was acting immorally because when I challenged his ruling, as the SCISA rulebook said I was able to, he did not have the data to support his doubles lineup. At the time, the SCISA athletic director said there was nothing that could be done, but the Beaufort Academy coach would have to submit his match data supporting his doubles lineup the very next day. Despite my protests to make the match ethically fair and legally fair according to SCISA bylaws, the doubles matches went on as scheduled. At the end of the day, we had a storybook ending, and we won the state title, overcoming the odds against us, a larger school with more talent and a coach who was trying to act immorally. This was an incredibly satisfying win. I was so incredibly proud of everyone on the team, and I will say what I told them afterwards, that good things happen to good people, something that I think Chapter 7 is trying to get across. I will end with one quick anecdote. On the way up to the state meet, our 6th grader kneeling in front, Brandon Mercado, and our senior behind him, Bryce, who they were paired in the doubles match, were driving together. Now, Bryce turned to Brandon and said, "Brandon, if we win, I'll buy you a milkshake the next day." Well, in Bryce and Brandon's doubles match, something we had to win in order to win the state meet, they ended up getting down early and clawed their way back. And right before Brandon served an ace for the match win, Brandon turned to Bryce and said, "Bryce, I like chocolate." And sure enough, the very next day, Bryce brought Brandon in his chocolate milkshake. A true storybook ending.